Hello everyone! Looks like we'll be having a match today. VRX just seems to have made it on the nick of time. So we will be seeing VRX versus Janceee happen at this time. I can't wait to see what's going to happen between these two players. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just really happy that we're having a match. But we'll have to see first. Once again, I'm honestly just happy that we're gonna be having a match right now. But we'll have to really see how these two teams are going to be performing. So yeah. Guess we shall now start with the protocol, which is to roll the dice. I mean, honestly, I won't be surprised if we see VRX ban, like, let's look at it. Like, I think VRX is gonna be banning Ella. And if you look at the qualifiers, so it's on the 7K side, and then Janceee, we need to look at them. Okay. Actually, VRX did beat Janceee on every category, almost, and it was Jancee's best shots are indeed on the side. So 41 is the rule for Janceee, and 54 again. I think VRX is going to be technically the right snap. I won't be surprised if that's the case. Alright, so yeah, we're just taking our time really to see what could be the potential wrong. Oh, sorry, attack. Which one is the right attack? Normally that would be right. But I'm not exactly sure if it is. So yeah. Alright, so it will be Rise 6 that will be protected by VRX. I mean, I'm not really surprised by that. Meanwhile, as for Janceee, I'm not sure what Janceee is going to be protecting. Maybe Ellen 4? Ellen 3? Okay, Hybrid 1. Well, Hybrid seems to be something that Janceee might do well on, I guess, so Hybrid 1 is the protect for Janceee. Now, what will Janceee be then? Again, I think it will be Rise 5 actually. Since we already saw that VRX had the, like, intention to protect something technical, I'd say Rise 5, maybe even Rise 4 would be great bans. Because I think VRX is able to act these kinds of maps. I mean, Rise 1 also makes a lot of sense. Alright, so it is indeed going to be Rise 4. Not surprised that it's a Rise-oriented ban. I mean, this is the core jack, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Gotta be really careful on core jack. When you're core jack playing these kinds of maps, you're essentially like just trying to be more, try to coordinate everything. I LN control. That would be LN1, LN2. I mean, at least for... Okay, let's look at the 7K map pool structure. Like, if I'm not mistaken, LN2 would actually be LN control. Let's take a look at it. Yep, that is indeed. LN coordination is indeed LN2, if that's what he means. So yeah. I think that would actually mean that LN2 would be the ban of VRX. I'm not surprised there. I mean, again, VRX is more of a Rice-oriented player, so that's a good ban in all this. So yeah, we are going to be seeing what's the first pick of VRX. I mean, okay, I'm not surprised to see Rise 1 being selected as his first pick. Because if you think about it, at least based on these statistics that we're given, I think that when it comes to maps like Rise 1, Janceee kind of falls off. So you have to be really careful when you're Janceee. I mean, I'm not surprised really that this is what... I'm actually not surprised that this is what VRX is going for. So once again, here we go. Destiny is going to be the choice. Gotta be very careful when it comes to that. Now we're just waiting for both of these players to have their match right now. So right off the get-go, we're seeing some accuracy drops for Janceee, hitting way too early compared to VRX was actually hitting way too late, which is kind of interesting because you're seeing two different dynamics here. But regardless, both of them aren't exactly hitting it the most accurately as they could. Then again though, this map is certainly out to get ya in that kind of department, because when it comes to speed, you're going to really expect that you'd struggle to act these kinds of maps. It's like one of those easy, like maybe you could hit it, like some players could really hit these maps, but the accuracy is going to be the make or break difference here. As Janceee finds two breaks, in fact one of those in easy section, VRX trades one of them, but okay, wait a second, those were like 3 breaks on VRX's side, but like Jancee's mistakes at the start were way too much. Oh, not to mention every time Janceee makes some mistakes in these delay speeds, it would actually affect that score much more than if VRX were to miss. Because accuracy wise, VRX does have the advantage. Then again, there's so many opportunities for these two to miss. I mean, speed is really not friendly to hit all the time. So like, you shouldn't really expect both players to just hit them like it's nothing. As VRX actually increases that act lead, Janceee really has to hold on, but I really don't think there's a room for opportunity. But VRX finds 2 misses in a row. That was a huge dent on the lead that VRX has, but that is not going to be enough. Janceee may have increased that accuracy, but that's just not going to be enough to beat VRX's supreme accuracy right now. Yeah, that accuracy that VRX has is way too strong. I mean, if you were to look at the miss count, they were like almost the same. I mean, unstable rate wise, they are. There's definitely a night and day difference here. Like VRX is a little bit more centered, but miss count wise, Janceee isn't really too far off. Just that accuracy ratio and hunt count were clearly on VRX's side. You have to be really careful when you're playing speed maps in general, because again, you can't just hit them and expect to be able to accurately press those keys really. So yeah, we're just waiting for Jancee's pick right now. So yeah, LR1 is going to be the selection. I mean, I'm not surprised, because if you want to counter something that VRX is good at with something that you think VRX may not be as well suited to play, yeah, home sweet home. I mean, this is, at least for LN1, I'd actually expect this. I'd actually expect this file to be LN release actually. I mean, LN2 is the LN coordination. LN1 is LN release, so I mean, there's definitely a difference with that. Like, LN coordination is more of like who's gonna be missing less. LN release is more of like who's gonna act better. I'm not surprised if that's gonna be the focus of those two. As we just wait for these two to sync up. Sometimes these just happen, really. You can't really help that. I think we saw a few misses from Janceee already. Like, I think there was one miss, unless it was client. Now John's finding a miss already, but VRX trades one back. I mean, I would, at least on paper, I'd actually expect VRX to struggle a little bit more than Janceee does. Though, then again, the physicality, I think, is on VRX's side. But LN coordination-wise, I just think Janceee could actually strike a point or two on these kinds of picks. And that's really not good, because now these patterns are just gonna get denser and denser. Like, you see those gaps that are very small? That requires you to hold those keys slightly more and only press like for a very short time after you held them, so the gaps are certainly gonna be challenging. Janceee certainly doing a really good job holding combo for a bit, but VRX, look at that accuracy lead. It really started to shrink a lot. Problem is, Janceee missed getting some misses on this section. I mean, you can't really expect everyone to hold on to these kinds of patterns. Like, it's just really difficult to be able to differentiate the different columns of when you have to hold or release earlier. Because of how, again, the density is really going to kick in. And Janceee making a few mistakes on this section. This would typically be an easier section, which, again, this is the worst time to miss. And again, Janceee finding these misses, but VRX on paper might actually struggle on these. And I think this is the golden opportunity that Janceee has been waiting, but VRX has the lead. It's starting to go onto their favor. Is there time? Is there time? Yes, there is. I think as long as Janceee holds on. That was a major lead change. What just happened? 6,000 points though. this could still be a VRX win, but I think those two misses. That's the nail of the coffin. Janceee is gonna be taking this point, I believe. That was a very neck and neck. That was a very neck and neck match. I mean, again, look at that. The miscount this time is what carried Janceee to the victory. I mean, the VRX better ratio and only a slightly worse to hard count, but the miscount was very much well onto Jancee's side. Certainly a great pick. A great pick to go for this one. Ellen really certainly was a good way to start. Hmm. So, alright. So, unfortunately, we can't really play this on stream. So we'll have to sacrifice this by not having the, what do you call this again? The map on stream. We are not going to have Dynamite on the stream because unfortunately we are not allowed to play this, because if we do, we could get copyrighted, DMCA'd, whatever. So we gotta be careful. Oh my god, can someone please sing in the commentary booth? I am not doing that. I am only doing that if someone's going to be here singing with me, alright? Oh my goodness. Alright. Oh no one's going to sing this on stream unless they want to. Alright. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting for these two players to get ready. I think Janceee is still just waiting for each. Again, can't really play this on stream because if we do, we will be. I don't know what's the right word. I didn't know LeBron was in the lyrics of Dynamite. What? I had no idea about that. I just like looked at the lyrics of Dynamite right now, and I saw that LeBron was in the lyrics. Alright, so we're just waiting for. I think John's got disconnected, which, yeah, that would happen. I mean, unfortunate, but we're just gonna be waiting to invite Chance again. Oh, oops. Okay, my bad. That's my bad. Microphone fell. Oh yeah, it's okay. Oh my goodness, alright. They were just waiting for both these players to get ready. Alright, so I mean Dynamite is your mixed Ellen pick. So I'm honestly surprised that VRX is going for this. Because remember you did lose an Ellen pick to start the match. Like to start with Jancee's pick, I mean. So yeah. Then again, though, this is different from Ellen release in the sense that, of course, in these kinds of picks, you'd expect more of the physicality aspect to be mixed here. But right now, VRX finding a few drops. I mean, you can't really just rely on that though, because look at Jancee's accuracy right now. It's at the low 96 range, and not to mention this map will give you only a few opportunities for you to be able to raise that accuracy, and clearly it's I don't know what's happening actually. Like I can tell if Janceee has lesser misses or more misses than VRX, but accuracy wise, I can definitely tell that VRX has the advantage. I mean, I'm not surprised again if physicality is incorporated into this file. You can just expect VRX to have slightly more of an advantage because physical players tend to be able to act these kinds of maps better because they just have the capability to do so. But the problem is right now, like when you have parts like this and Janceee just cannot keep up, that's definitely going to be a struggle. A 20,000 point lead for VRX says a lot already at how the dynamics of these two are going to be. Like if a map is more physical, VRX certainly just clearly has the advantage, regardless if it's an Ellen, Hybrid, or Rice. Right now, Janceee getting the opportunity to increase that, but now we're approaching these kinds of tight Ellens sections. Like these parts only can only do so much for you. You can't really expect to increase in those sections, but Janceee clearly trying to increase whatever they have right now. But VRX is ultra consistent at this file. 2000 combo and still really good accuracy. Far ahead as to what Janceee has. Thing is, it's a 3 minute and 14-second map. So certainly the advantage here is gonna be much more than it's like, let's say, a 2 minute map. But VRX finally bleeding a little bit. These sections, I think there's actually a chance that Janceee might benefit from these parts because of how Ellen releasey it is. But now Janceee cannot afford any mistakes here, which is unfortunately what he is dropped. And right now, the accuracy is almost the same, but it's not gonna matter too much. VRX lead was way ahead, and now this speed section certainly favors VRX, honestly. There it is. I mean, Janceee had an opportunity for a bit, especially in the Ellen sections, but just could not capitalize on those. It looks like Janceee actually had. Look at this. Look at this interesting score. Like VRX actually has sort of the worst accuracy in terms of ratio and 200 count, but those misses and 50s are the reason why VRX actually had the advantage. So it looks like Janceee is going for LN3. I mean, alright. I mean, you did win your only pick so far on Ellen, so it makes sense that Janceee is going for another Ellen pick. I almost forgot, but now we're able to bring the music back. So and now, I mean, we should not be seeing the chat. There we go. Sorry about that. So VRX actually sort of struggling here. I mean, this is what seems to be the Ellen density pick. Yeah, Ellen density. So I actually think VRX may have an advantage, but it looks like the opposite is happening instead. Think about Ellen density is typically on these kinds of picks, like the ones with the better physicality may utilize these to their advantage, but right now, seems like Janceee actually has the better consistency on Ellen density. I think that's a client miss. I mean, it actually looks to be a real miss because of... Oh, never mind. It looks to be a... Okay, never mind. It's client. Oh! VRX fighting misses on this coordination section, so sort of. I mean, to be fair, this coordination section is not friendly. Amazingly, Janceee is keeping that consistency. VRX is only a little bit behind in that accuracy department. Wait, was that a miss from Janceee? No, actually. VRX. What is going on? Janceee, that consistency. Very much amazing. VRX doing great on the accuracy department, which is essentially what you did. And Janceee finally drops something. Twice, actually. But VRX trades one back. These sections are really dense. And I expected VRX to have a better chance of winning this, considering how physically this seems to be something that they can handle. But looks like Janceee is proving me wrong here, as certainly is able to accurately hit these parts. Very good showing, and that makes it 2-all. Janceee winning on that Ellen density section certainly showed. And wow, look at that ratio difference. Like, I know it's a big difference, but at the end of the day, like, again, like, Janceee has the worst 200 count, worst ratio, but that consistency was miles ahead of VRX, and that was just enough for Janceee to take that victory. This is indeed set to score B2. Considering that OD5 is the OD that's set here, if this were a score V1 score, both players would be getting probably closer to a 1:1 ratio. But considering that score V2 considers the hits of not only the LN, the time you hit the LN, but also the release of the LN as 2 notes, it would register as that. So therefore, it would certainly be a score V2 file. I mean, if you were to look at the MP, like, let's look at the MP here, which I'll be posting on chat. It certainly is a score V2. Like, shorter LNs still count as 2 notes, which is why the combo looked really big. So yeah, now we're just waiting for those players to get ready. I mean, if Jancee's disconnecting, we can just wait. So yeah, let's just wait and see. Kind of unfortunate that that's happening, but hey, we're still gonna be having a match.
SNS という瓶詰め地獄に救済を過去の歴史は未来フリーあなたのためならすぐそばにインターネットエンジェル可愛く参上まるで天使のように抱きつく強めの計画インターネットそして悪魔みたいにキスするあなただけの握りが
Oh no, wait a second. Alright. I'll be giving an exception for this one. You know, normally, normally, if this were to happen, because at least according to the MP chat, it seems to be that Janceee disconnected like almost a minute in. But I'll be giving an exception in this time. I'll be giving an exception for this file.
SNS という瓶詰め地獄に救済を過去の歴史は未来フリーあなたのためならすぐそばにインターネットエンジェル可愛く
Alright, so for the meantime, we're just going to be waiting for Janceee to restart the internet. I mean, it happens. Can't really blame him for that. But there are so many circumstances where the internet has to be restarted for it to really regain its connection. We don't really want to see a win by default here, especially for a close match like this. Like, both players have been doing really well.
この混沌とした令和のインターネットを照らす一筋の光、電子の海を漂うオタクに笑顔、未来の平和をお約束、そう打つだけど任せとけ、インターネットエンジェルただいま降臨。社会をやめろ、家族をやめろ、人間関係をやめろ、今すぐ薄暗い部屋で青白いライトを浴びろ。大丈夫、怖かったこと全部上書きするからね。現実よりもおかしくなりそうなほど情報型のインターネットを今助けてあげるよダーリンダーリン。嘘は外と見抜けるし、この絵暴走しちゃうし、壊れてしまうけど考えなくていいんだよ、もうすぐ楽になるから。脳内に乱反射するポイズンレニュー、麻薬より甘いよ。いいね、良くないね、君にとっては毒だね。いいね、良くないね、それでも飲むんだね。いいね、良くないね、二人の秘密だね。私だけ見ててね。まるで天使のように微笑む強めの計画、インターネット、そして悪魔みたいにささやくあなただけの出番。
Looks like Janceee is back into the lobby. Hopefully we won't be seeing any more disconnects. Unfortunate that these are happening.
浅いに見えた承認欲求のオーバードーズ、脳天直撃する私たちだけの宗教の光。
Alright, let's see how this will go.
何度も送られる毒電波を優しさだけで包んで、逆さまのコンピューターと断片的にこの混沌とした令和のインターネットを照らす一筋の光、電子の海を漂うオタクに笑顔、未来の平和をお約束、そう打つだけど任せとけ、インターネットエンジェルただいま降臨。社会をやめろ、家族をやめろ、人間関係をやめろ、今すぐ薄暗い部屋で青白いライトを浴びろ。大丈夫、怖かったこと全部上書きするからね。現実よりもおかしくなりそうなほど情報型のインターネットを今助けてあげるよダーリンダーリン。嘘は外と見抜けるし、この絵暴走しちゃうし、壊れてしまうけど考えなくていいんだよ、もうすぐ楽になるから。脳内に乱反射するポイズンレニュー、麻薬より
To me, it's interesting that VRX actually went with the hybrid route, considering that again, these hybrids would typically contain LN sections like this one. And honestly, at least based on how this file is going, it looks like Janceee has an opportunity here. I mean, these are sort of LN coordination sections. Of course, yeah, it's mixed with rice, but still these are parts that can be difficult to keep that consistency and accuracy. And we saw in the previous pick how consistent Janceee can be. Unfortunately though, both players will be trading, but based on how this has been going, the trend seems to be favoring VRX ever so slightly, but Janceee trying to creep up a little bit of a lead. Whoa, that was a very unfortunate miss. And now, in this easier sections, it looks like Janceee has a golden opportunity to take this lead ever so slightly. But that accuracy lead that VRX has, and now Janceee trades two of them. Very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate misses from Janceee, and you'd really think that this would have an opportunity. And now time is running out because VRX is 10,000 point lead. I mean, it doesn't look like too much, but 3 minutes in, and this is the lead that VRX is giving. Certainly going to be scary now for Janceee.
SNS という瓶詰め地獄に救済も過去の歴史は未来にあなたのためならすぐそばにインターネットエンジェル可愛く
Starting to really give it in to VRX after a neck-and-neck battle. The differences have finally settled. We're seeing more of an advantage for VRX now. Can definitely see why hybrid was the route. Looks like the mix of Ellen and Rice was way too much for Janceee to overcome. I mean, that's a giant dent to the lead VRX had. That's like a 6,000 decrease instantly, but the trade certainly helps VRX a lot considering how much accuracy was dropped. But if Janceee did not miss in those sections, this would have been much scarier to see. And that's about it. Accuracy was the deciding factor after all. Looks like VRX is able to secure the 3rd point of this match, and what a close one we're having so far. We don't want to see any disconnections, hopefully, or any forfeits or whatever, because of how good these two players have been doing. It's honestly just really impressive as how these two players are doing. Like, Janceee had lesser misses, yes, but VRX's 200 count and accuracy was way, way ahead. You can tell that.
この混沌とした令和のインターネットを照らす一筋の光電子の海を漂うオタクに笑顔未来の平和をお約束そう打つだけど任せとけインターネットエンジェルただいま降臨
So interesting. Interesting question by Janceee. It's interesting to see this kind of pick, especially we saw how VRX is on one of these guys. Like the advantage VRX had was just a lot. Right now, I am not sure who has the advantage. I mean, I think on paper VRX has it. Because again, Rice-wise, I think VRX has a slight advantage over Janceee. But Janceee now has the advantage because of that miss from VRX. I mean, you're expecting chords being here. Right now, it's working very, very slightly for Janceee. But oh, they trade! And trades favor that player who has the better act, who has the lead right now. It's clearly on VRX's side. This is not looking good for Janceee right now, but there's still so much of the map left. That's gotta be a client. And now, 1% difference. That's actually a very big lead, but it's not comfortable at all, especially with how consistency has been going. I think VRX has slightly more misses than Janceee. But Jancee's accuracy is not just gonna make the cut. Not to mention, every time Janceee misses on these chord streams, it's gonna affect that accuracy more. Like if you have lower accuracy and you don't have the lead, that lead by the opponent is just gonna increase even further. It's starting to become more and more evident that VRX might take this pick. We're running out of time. 27,000 points. That's a very big lead, and unless we see a meltdown from VRX on the fourth screen here. Oh! That could be the catalyst to a start of a comeback if VRX is not careful. Oh, that's another one! The lead is just significantly lowered. This could really still be a sign. If VRX finds any other misses on his score stream, as I say that, that's going to be massive. But Janceee has to start increasing that accuracy. Never mind, that is going to be it, the nail in the coffin. Are we going to be seeing our first break point? I think that does it. The physicality was way too much for Janceee. Like, look at that unstable rate. Clearly hitting later than usual. VRX takes it, but that was scary. That was very scary. Okay, looks like VRX had the lesser misses after all. And overall, just was pretty close to start. But as time passed, that was just a little bit too much for Janceee to handle. Oh my goodness, this is actually scary. Like, both players performing really well. Honestly, those kinds of matches are really fun to watch. But also has to be scary on the perspective of the players. And VRX going for Hybrid 2. Actually, I forgot to mention this, but Hybrid 1 was what Janceee protected. And Janceee lost that pick. So yeah, let's see how these two will perform. 1 minute and 27 seconds hybrid. This is an incredibly short file, especially for semifinals. Like, typically this is when files aren't that short anymore. You'd expect a little bit of length here and there, but I think this is just a lot of difficulty cramped into that short time period. What I'm going to be scared about is how both players are going to handle that act. Janceee and VRX have been not consistent, my bad. But VRX's accuracy, oh my goodness, like you can see that accuracy difference. Like you see how long those LNs are, and then you have rice dumps mixed into there. That's what makes this a very hybridy chart. Because of how difficult it is to add these LNs, while you have to hit a lot of technical stuff, this is the name of the game for hybrids, really. This is definitely a technical hybrid. And this is the kind of hybrid that would benefit VRX a lot. Because we saw that in this entire match, VRX just had the accuracy lead for like 90% of these files. And it's clearly working very, very well. VRX with a 70,000 point advantage. I think the amount of misses that Janceee dropped was just way too much. And just like that, both players will be getting the S, but VRX clearly had a much bigger advantage. Very short file, but in that short amount of time, you're already able to see how difficult this file is. And now, just like that, we're already down 5-2 VRX's favor. Still not over yet though. Like the name of the game here, again, it's not over till it's over. You know what? I always see these songs on Mania tournaments. Not really Mania tournaments, but like, I just see this song everywhere. I mean, this song is a very popular one. This is a 225-second hybrid, wildcard hybrid. Honestly speaking, at least in terms of the length, I'll be honest, like, this map, like wildcard hybrids, these would typically be shorter. Honestly, like at least lengthwise, hybrid 2 seems to be a little bit more of a wildcard than hybrid 3. But what makes a wildcard hybrid a wildcard hybrid? I mean, it's just really a mix of everything. Like, it's just a hybrid that you can't really describe 100%. It doesn't really fit into a category that much. So definitely this will be a wildcard hybrid. It's like one of those, it's just a mix of everything. Like, you have technical hybrid, and then a generic hybrid. Wildcard, you just really can't say it's generic. There's just a lot of mix of patterns, and oh! It looks like VRX struggled really hard on that pattern. That's a very big surprising turn of events, and right now VRX still trying to increase that accuracy. These LN sections, like you see that? It's very much LN control, LN release bias. And those are the parts that VRX are definitely going to struggle in. As Janceee, on the other hand, we've seen Jancee's potential to be consistent on these sections, but it's certainly not over yet. That was a lot of trades as VRX catches up on the accuracy. But this is the kind of section that I'm expecting Janceee to have a favor on. Not on the rise, sure, but those LNs certainly gives Janceee an edge. Right now, oh, that really gained. Janceee really gained those trills. Really helping. But okay, this right section, I'd expect VRX to have an advantage on this really. Like, it's very technical, very trilly and all that. You gotta be careful. Jancee's lead is just starting to decrease. Oh my goodness, that's multiple misses from Jancee's. It's starting to get closer. And now once again we're approaching an LN coordination section, which on paper should favor Janceee, but time is running out. Janceee finding another miss on that rise. But VRX releases way too early on one of those long notes. That is going to be scary. Like, you just don't know what's gonna happen. Is there enough time? Will Janceee take this point? Oh, I think VRX gets it. But what a point. That was really close. Unless something happens. Oh, VRX drops. Let's see. Wait a second. Wait. Was that? What? No. You've got to be joking, right? You've got to be joking. Don't. And Janceee just got the point off of that. What in the world was that? What just happened? Bro, you can't you can't be serious, right? How did you How did that happen? I don't even know. I don't know how to describe what just happened. What just happened? I think I think it was a Percy. What happened? I think that was a Percy moment. What? Oh my. Oh. Okay, that wasn't a Percy. But VRX had the VRX had the victory though. Oh. Okay. He had the lead there. He had the lead by 500 points. You've got to be kidding me. What just happened? Bro, like okay. Like, just to process what happened. So VRX had like a 500 point lead before that LN section. And that happened. Okay. I don't know what I still don't know what just happened there. Like, you can't make this up. You just can't make this up. The Rice 6 is going to be picked. Rice 6. I can see why that's the choice. But I don't think it's over yet. Alright. So technical wise, I mean, you'd think, alright? You'd really think hybrid, I'm sorry, not hybrid, Rice 6 on paper again favors VRX. Like these Rice sections, like technicality and all that, VRX has at least shown that physicality has been in his favor, but Janceee hasn't been too far behind in the consistency department. But wait a second, this technicality, okay, this is very close, but Janceee fighting a few drops, that's very unfortunate as VRX holds on to that combo. These technical sections are very not friendly to those who aren't too physical, especially on dumps and all that. But now, time is running out. Well, actually no, time is not running out. There's still half of the map remaining. But 25,000 points is going to be a giant lead to overcome. 96.7 to 98.2. That act difference is already a big factor. But VRX dropping twice, I don't think that's going to matter too much because of how much the accuracy lead is. And now more misses from Janceee. Like these are the kind of files that Janceee might have to be more careful on. Did you see those bursts and all that? VRX just has an advantage on those kinds of files. Now, time is not on Jancee's side. There's only 1/3 of the file left. More misses from Janceee, just very unfortunate. And this lead has really grown. Jancee's physicality, unfortunately, just not able to be there. VRX with an amazing score. Janceee is 94, 93 is also really impressive. Like, honestly speaking, you can't really discredit Janceee for still performing really well. 93.24 still is a really good score. And if we were to look at the ratio, VRX certainly had an advantage, and Janceee, despite not being able to keep up, still performed really well, having a higher combo indeed. Just goes to show that consistency was certainly there at the very start. But then again, congratulations to both players, they performed really well. It's just unfortunate that it would have to end now, as we already have a winner for this match, which is going to be VRX, as we're going to be waiting for the screen to show up. As we see Team Blue, VRX wins the match. There it is, VRX does indeed win. But still, let's not act like Janceee performed bad. Janceee performed really well. Like with all of the cards that was dealt to him, he performed really well. LNs, hybrids, like we can definitely see the potential in Janceee on those kinds of files. I think these two players actually want to showcase the tiebreaker, huh? Does the chat want to see a tiebreaker showcase? I mean, I want to know. Do you guys want to see a tiebreaker showcase? I mean, I'd be very much down to show you guys how the tiebreaker is. So yeah, we'll be seeing a tiebreaker showcase. So yeah, I can't wait to see how these two players will perform on a tiebreaker showcase. Here we go. It's tiebreaker showcase. These two players are going to be playing the essence of all tournaments. Unfortunately, Janceee finding already a mistake on the start. This is 5 minutes and 24 seconds. You're already greeted with some goals. This could really be painful, but VRX already finding he missed as well. But again, accuracy matters so much. As Janceee has a little bit of disadvantage in that section. The more we see Ellen sections, I think Janceee may actually have a chance, but these right sections have been much more deadly as we're seeing here. But wait a second, VRX also struggling a little bit. The fact that the sleeve hasn't increased too much despite all the misses from Janceee goes to show how difficult this is. Like even VRX struggling on these sections, and as we see more of these come, we can definitely see the difference. Oh my goodness, like there's just so much that this tiebreaker offers. Honestly, really impressive to see how they're doing. Both players still have a good HP bar, meaning that we're not going to see any fails soon. VRX at the 97. Janceee at 95.7. Like, again, accuracy difference-wise, it's clear that VRX has it. Oh, these right section, surprisingly, we're seeing some miss on VRX's side. This is really a very physical tiebreaker from what it seems. Like, you're seeing how both players are starting to mess up on some of these. But still, both players are doing pretty well. These LMs, really short. Really short LMs, so like you're really going to have to focus, make sure you're not releasing too late. Like that's the problem with short LMs. You have to really make sure you can release in time. It's really impressive to see how both players still holding an S at the very least. This goes to some of the consistent these two players are and how they're really able to keep up with this matchup. 40,000 point lead for VRX. It goes to show, again, this is really more of a physicality advantage on VRX's side. That is wise, huh? And now we're approaching more of these sections. That lead started to decrease a lot, and now we're seeing the L sections. This is where I think Johns could really make some noise here. As VRX making one mistake, but Janceee already made one before that. So VRX will still have that advantage. Like honestly, it's really difficult to hold on. Impressive how both players. Again, it's just really impressive how they're really holding on to these L1 sections. They're both picking up. Now we're going to see typically after an L1 section, they're going to be greeted with these rice parts. So you got to really go. More LN sections, but really the rice section also just intertwining them. So you're really getting a mix of both. So we're approaching the final 5th or 6th of the map. Both players holding on to the 400 combo package. Really impressive showing from both players. Practically seeing two S's in this final. Semifinals just goes to show how skilled these two players really are. Now more L cycle. VRX, I think, just massively winning this file. We're seeing a few misses from these two players, but it's really more on the side of Janceee. Can we see both players hold onto the S? Yes, they will! Oh my goodness, just wait. Please hold on to the S! Yeah, that's an S for both of these players. Really impressive work for both of these players. Just keeping this skill up onto this. Wait a second. I did not notice that, but yep, it is indeed an S for both of these players. Really impressive work. Accuracy wise, again, we're just seeing a pattern here, ratio wise and 200 count wise. Looks like VRX certainly had the advantage, and just because of how physical this map is by nature, seems like Janceee was also affected by that. Very impressive work for VRX and also for Janceee. Really, we gotta give credit where credit is due. And indeed, it is a GG moment. These two players have done really well. We'll just have to wait. Once again, let's look at the winner. It's gonna be VRX once again. Congratulations to him. But again, Janceee was certainly up there contesting a lot of those picks. So you can't really say that this was a dominating win. These two players performed out of their minds and played really well. But that's about it really. Congratulations to VRX for winning. The next 7K match will be happening at 8 p.m. It's gonna be I think that's Lynx. 009. That's gonna be a really good match. But after that, But before that, actually, we're gonna be having a set of 4K matches. 2 of them. So VRX is gonna be waiting for the winner of Bueno versus Gregory. But until then, thank you so much to everyone for coming to the stream. We hope you all enjoyed, and see you next time.